Hi, I'm Wills from the Audiophile Shark, and today I'm going to do my first YouTube review, and I'm going to review the KBEAR Neon, or the KBEAR Neon, depends on how you pronounce the name. I have been a writer and a reviewer for Headphonesty, and so make sure to also check out the written review on Headphonesty for this earphone later on. The written review should be uploaded right around the same time this video comes up, so the link will hopefully be in the description or the comment. Special thanks to Keep Hi-Fi for providing Neon for this review. All thoughts and opinions are mine, and there's no incentive whatsoever for me to say anything good or bad about these earphones. In this video review, we only focus mainly on the sound of Neon. If you want to check out like the other aspects of Neon, like I've said, make sure to check out the written review posted on Headphonesty. So, the Neon, what's good about them? The Neon are very unique, not only because of the old school wearing style and also the single balanced armature driver setup, but also their tuning. Unlike the more usual V-shaped sound signature, which is more common in this price range, the Neon have a more mid-range focused sound, or as I always put it, a reversed V-shaped sound signature. Let's start with the bass response. The bass is probably not the reason you're going to get the Neon, especially if you are looking for like a good punchy bass response. However, on the positive side, the Neon do have an excellent clarity and resolution down low. However, if you love your bass with a good body and warmth, you'll be better off with a pair of hybrid or even a single dynamic driver IEMs. Otherwise, the Neon will serve you very well with its great resolution and clarity. However, the sub-bass extension is below average at best. If you like listening to the genres such as EDMs or drum-heavy music, you may feel underwhelmed because of the lack of sub-bass response presence. The sub-bass is more often felt than heard. Even so, the Neon provide a fast decay and show a good agility down low. So the Neon does has a excellent, like I've said, excellent resolution in the bass response. The mid bass on Neon has a bit more punch and body to it than the sub bass. Well, it's very hard to have less presence in sub bass in the Neon, but anyway. But still, do not expect like a single dynamic like performance. The Neon are still very controlled and have a limited quantity in the mid bass, but they do show good speed and cleanliness throughout each and every bass notes. Now, when we move up the spectrum, we start to go into the very good bits of the Neon, the mid-range. The mid-range performance in the Neon is stellar. This is the reason you want to get the Neon. Being a mid-range focused IEM, the mid-range is placed a step forward compared to the bass and the treble spots. They show a good sense of clarity and resolution in the vocals and most musical instruments. Despite the bass-like character, the lower mid-range performs surprisingly decent. The male vocals and some deeper female vocals shows a good clean presence, although they do not have the thickest body or the warmth as support. That is compensated for by the forward placed mid-range, so they still sound very realistic and energetic. The upper mid-range again shows a good agility, so violins and the female vocals are clean and have fast responses. Furthermore, they aren't particularly aggressive or harsh. Despite the agility and the clean upper mid-range, the Neon are not sibilants and the S regions of the vocals are completely problem-free, so it is possible to listen to the Neon for hours straight without fatiguing. Now the treble. The treble is a bit of a mixed because, first let's start with the good things. The lower treble follows the non-aggressive nature of the upper mid-range. The transition from upper mid-range to the lower treble is smooth and very natural. There are still a decent amount of sparkle in the lower treble, but because of the more relaxed treble performance, the detail retrieval is not particularly outstanding here. In the mid and upper mid range, upper treble regions, the Neon retains their relaxed and laid-back treble performance. The mid treble is smooth and non-fatiguing, though sometimes it may seem a bit too relaxed and the resolution is lacking. On the upside, this also means that even the most treble-sensitive listeners will not experience any sort of harshness with the Neon. But the downside is the upper treble extension is just average, just like the sub bass extension. There is clearly an early roll off in the upper treble. Technicalities and sensitivities. The Neon are quite sensitive and do not require an external amplifier to drive them to their full potential. Well, obviously, if you have a better source, the Neon will be able to show the improvement, but a powerful amp is definitely not necessary. That being said, the Neon aren't overly sensitive to the extent where it becomes a hissing detector, which is good. For technicalities, the Neon does have a decent soundstaging ability. They have good width and depth for their price range. Not class leading, but still very good nonetheless. However, the height, unfortunately, is not as good as the other dimensions, mostly because of their average both and extensions. The height of the soundstage is rather limited. The bass response and the mid-range have somewhat a good resolution, but in certain songs, the relaxed treble may cover up some of the details, like I've just said. Now, let's move on to some comparisons around this price range against the KBEAR Neon. So the earphones I'm going to compare against the Neon are the legendary blonde BL03 and also the final E2000. The price range around 50 US dollars is flooded with many different options. However, not a lot of them are particularly amazing, and even fewer show similarities with Neon. Both the final and the BL03 have been launched a while back, but they are still highly regarded by many. Like the Neon, all of these features a single driver setup, but both the final and the 03 have a single dynamic driver instead of the balanced armature in the Neon. So let's see how the different driver choices impact the sound performance. Okay, let's move this a bit. Right. So let's start off by comparing the Neon against the 03. The 03 is one of the greatest hits in the budget audio market, portable market. Many love them because of their extremely good performance at a reasonable, affordable price. However, the 03 is a bit like an polar opposite of the Neon, where the Neon are more mid-range focused and have a more laid-back and recessed bass and treble. The 03 are V-shaped. They have a much deeper sub-bass extension, and they also punch harder than Neon. Both of them are quite detailed down low, but the 03 simply have more body and a better layered bass. For the mid-range, the Neon plays the vocals a bit closer than the 03. The mid-range clarity is slightly better in the Neon. However, the 03 isn't particularly behind by far. Vocal sounds much more natural and realistic in the Neon than in the 03. The 03, on the other hand, have a better treble performance with greater clarity and also better extension over the Neon. As a result, the 03 have a better sound staging and imaging abilities than the Neon. So after comparing the Neon to the 03, let's move on to the comparison between the Neon and the E2000. Let's just put this aside first. Okay. So the E2000. The E2000 also have a single driver and also have a similar wearing style as the Neon. However, in the perspective of sound, they do have certain areas which are very different from each other. The E2000 have a more balanced and slightly warmer soundstage than Neon's mid-range oriented sound. In the bass response, the E2000 shows a better extension and layering than the Neon. The E2000 show a better extension layering than the Neon, yep. Both of them have a good resolution down low, but again, the final simply have better punchiness and also a more impactful bass than Neon. So the E2000 sound more organic and realistic and natural down low. In the mid-range performance, both of them again have quite good clarity and resolution. However, Neon plays the focus a bit more forward than the E2000. The E2000 in turn have a warmer and more emotional mid-range performance, which some may prefer over the Neon. The treble response is where the two are the most similar. Neither of them are particularly aggressive or sibilant, and both of them have a more relaxed treble presentation. Also, neither of them have the most impressive treble extension, unfortunately, around this price range. However, the E2000 is slightly ahead of the Neon on that regard. Also, the E2000 also have a better resolution, a larger soundstage, and a bit more sparkle over the Neon. So now the verdict. Now the verdict of the Neon. The KB Neon provide a clean, solid, and refreshing option in the market for those who are tired of seeing the similarly tuned earphones. Unlike most other IEMs around this price range, which generally have a V-shaped, warmer sound signature, the Neon plays the spotlight over the mid-range, and they have successfully done so. Although the Neon may not have the ultimate extension at both ends of the spectrum, or the best resolution up top, or a huge soundstage, the Neon, however, are certainly a solid option for those who are looking for something different in the budget IEM markets. So that's it for the review for today, and I hope you see you guys soon in the future. Thank you.